we are. We have completed the first half year, the first 2 seasons of this epic One Home journey to every country on earth. I'm just going to bring our beloved Earth, who has traveled with us, this artwork representing the Earth, which has traveled with us and been touched and cared for by thousands across Africa, Asia, and the Pacific. And here we come to your home, Jean, to deepen the journey, to elevate it, to draw on all your lifetime's wisdom, because you've been so present every step of the preparation of the journey and the journey itself.
Jean.
And Jean, we ask you now, Alexander, a couple of sentences from you about what has brought us here at this time of the journey.
The journey, which is now in its 7 months, having covered 14 countries, has arrived here in Ashland, Oregon. And we have come with a purpose to this place because, Jean, you know, as we were working with so many different cultures on different continents, we also come here to draw on your source wisdom, on your capacity as an evolutionary catalyst for our species, to help us into re-speciation of an upgrade of humanity. Jean, how would that look like? How could that happen?
Oh, speciation. Friends, you out there watching this, do you even know what speciation means? What it could actually bring into time, where we take the latent higher human that is rising within us and is yearning to be born from our hearts, our minds, our souls, and bring this luminous possibility of who we and what we really are into this world and time. Yes, it would be, we hope, a world that works. Yes, it would be a world that leaves the ancient past that stopped working quite some time ago. And it would look for all the emergencing, not emergencies, but that which is emerging throughout the world. And I've worked in virtually every country of the world. You too have, haven't you?
We are getting there, Jean, but we are following in your footsteps and drawing so much on your lifetime's work.
And for all the bad news that you get on the television or in your papers, there is better news there. And I, who have to admit am one of the more traveled people in this world, I see this new world emerging. That in spite of what are the goings on the papers, generally bad news, there is a greater news happening. There is a greater story. It is the story of the possible human and the possible world. It is, oh friends, it's the story of the coming of that which has been longed for, lo, these 3,000 or 4,000 years. It is the birth of the deeper human, the possible human, the human who lives in, extraordinary friendship with the earth, with the sky, with the oceans, with the plants burgeoning forth from the fertile ground. It is the earth it's the human earth, really. The human earth where we honor all the species, all the luminous trees, and above all, seeing each other as high spirits, high beings in hiding out. But really, we got to stop that, don't we? We got to bring our fullness, our greatness, our loving, our opening the doors of our mind and soul, not just to profoundly new ways of being and caring, but to the understanding that we are also spiritual selves having the immense opportunity to live in a world that is at the cusp of its change, and we have everything to do with the change. I think of it as being little babies in the womb. Here we are, a little old for it, but here we are. And the baby's in the womb before they are about to emerge, maybe, some weeks before. And things are budding on them, aren't they? Not just budding, they are bursting forth. Here is a new kind of arm, if you will, but a new kind of hand, a hand that blesses, that caresses, that calls people forward. A new kinds of eyes, eyes that see beneath the apparent happenings, so often are not too good, but sees the true story of who we are as humans in the time of so much growth and change. And beyond all that, a new kind of mind, a mind that cares deeply for this new emerging earth, this earth of wonders, the love that moves the sun and all the stars bursting forth from this earth, and also seeing ourselves as we were, as we maybe still are, but also, dear friends, as we are coming to be in an earth that requires our attention, our honoring, but also our willingness to be the possible humans who are co-creating together the possible world. Join us. Thank you. And the possible dog, too. Olivia.
That's just beautiful.
This is just wonderful, and it's profoundly complete with Olivia coming in, your beautiful dog, here at the cusp of spring, feeling into the new life that is in the air, and Jean helping us to see as a species, as humanity, as a new human that is awakening, also to see ourselves in full inclusion of all of life. And Olivia is helping us in this process, as do the birds.
The woodpecker, which has been with us all the days that we've been here, deepening this journey.
Yes.
This journey would probably, the one home journey would probably not have taken on the form and proportion it did if we hadn't had these last 12 to 13 years really of close interaction, being inspired by and co-creating with you as the co-chair of our movement. And now we are so blessed that you see the importance of this journey, where all that you've done, all that you've wanted human beings to do, to step forward as the co-creators, can come together. What would you feel right now is the most important thing that every human being can do to fulfill this prophecy almost that you have laid out before us? What would be the most important way in which the one home journey, our one home journey, can catalyze that emergence of the earth?
Well, I think it begins with a kind of positive drama where you get a picture of the whole earth. They're very easy to find. I luckily have one in my hand. And you say to it, yes. Yes, dear once and future friend, I am here with you, for you, of you, and with the others who see this time of emergence of co-creation with the earth. An earth that does not destroy the planet. An earth in which we are spiritual rangers of what yet can be. It may be in your local home, it may be on your lawn, it may even be in a book that you're reading, in a child that you're watching. But wherever and however it is, you are the carrier of an emerging stage of evolution that we have been looking for, yearning for literally thousands of years. And now all those years, all that longing comes together with us now. And in this nowness, you see, you feel.
Yeah. We feel the new humanity, the new earth rising. And despite Jean, also despite the climate of fear that so many people groom on this planet, the climate of scarcity, the climate of colonialism, of dominion, of patriarchy that we feel, yet there is also tangibly the rise of the new. And I see your life work and your encouragement to humanity as, despite the birth pain that we are experiencing in this moment of renaissance, renascere as you would say it, this is our time to rise, to move forward, to move upward, and to step into the fullness of who we can be as humanity in unity with all of life.
Yes. It's been so beautiful on this journey, Jean, where you've been with us as we traversed, from the cradle of humanity all the way across southern and East Africa, and then over to South Asia and then the Pacific. And you've been with us, guiding us in our inner conversations as well as in the Earth Family calls, drawing on the wisdom of each country as well as exchanging and interacting with the world, and having your long-term view, you having worked in these countries with the creation myths, the mythology, the potential of each country, and us having worked in many of these countries but seeing it with a new eye. It's been so fulfilling to see how in the midst of crisis people are rising up to become the possible human. And as you would say, now is the time where all of this can come together in a new way. How do you see the new systems and structures of a world that works coming out as people step into their full potential? What would that look like and feel like? The new education, the new politia especially.
I think it begins with kindness. Kindness to the self. Kindness to each other. Kindness to the earth. Kindness to the animals. Kindness to your own longings that have been waiting in your heart for so long to not only just come forward, but redeem the time, redeem the unread vision of the higher dream. It's about the higher dream, waking up from it and bringing it into space and time.
What it feels like is that your work on the deep ancient past and the deep psyche is now coming together with the quantum realities, the quantum science, which you have spent much of your recent years developing, encouraging, teaching. Would you say so that the world that we will now see emerging will be based on our new understanding of reality and the universe, the quantum reality?
I think that's a real possibility. This word quantum that's become a kind of passel for everybody. But what it also talks about is the deep interwoven alliance with everything, everybody, with everything else. We now know that. We are not alone. I walk down the streets, wherever I am. I live in a town, wonderful, very friendly town of Ashland, Oregon, and everybody smiles back at me. But what I see there is people whose yearning has broken through to the co-creation of the new reality. And that new reality is yet to be dreamed, to be imagined. Imagination is everything. And then, at least with the inner mind, to be seen until it becomes so rich that it has no other possibility but to manifest. I believe that we are close to the manifestation times of the higher human, the higher co-creation, the higher spirit. I use the words high, but it's also true, to be honest with you, that sometimes you have to look at the lows of your life and say, how can I redeem my life? How can I redeem the time? How can I redeem the unread vision of the higher dream? Oh, dear friends and animals, we are in the time of the higher dream. Let us dream this dream, create with it, work with it, put it into art, put it into music, put it into love. For therein lies the deep story of which we are all a part. You watching this, my dog, fascinated by what's going on, my friend holding the earth, my other friend holding the dog, no, holding the dog and the earth, me too.
You know, Jean, you evoke the spirit of co-creation, of
Co-creation.
participation,
Yes.
of inviting everyone into the building of this new paradigm into which we are now growing into. What is the role for our cultures and societies to co-create? What is the role of the new woman and the new man to co-create as we are building a future for all of life?
You speak of the new paradigm. A strange joke has just popped into my head. Buddy, can you paradigm? Because we're all paradigmatic angels. You know, our humanity goes on and off, and sometimes it blacks out. But the paradigm of who and what we yet can be is coded in us as truly as a 6-week-old baby is coded with the greatness that will come from her. You see, you need to look at each other in wonder and astonishment. Truly, wonder and astonishment. Because there's something about that deep look that activates the evolutionary genius and juices
And gene.
in us.
The evolutionary gene.
She's got some work to do.
Yes.
She's got a great dog. I think, friends, what we are saying is that we are at a new beginning stage. What does the poet say? Thank God our call.
Time
Thank
is now.
God our time is now. Where wrong comes up to meet us everywhere. Never to leave us till we take the longest stride of soul folk ever took. Affairs are now soul size. The enterprise is exploration into God. What are we making for? What are you making for? It takes so many 1,000 years to wake. So shall we wake? Shall we wake? For heaven's sake. Thank you. We will.
Thank you for this great invitation, dear Jean, inviting all of humanity to step forward and join in whichever way they seek this great one home journey, our one home journey, back to who we are and can yet be, and to this earth that we can create as a home for all life. We are so grateful you have been a guide, a soul guide, a mind guide throughout this journey, and we know that in these 7 years, so much will shift as people step into this high potential you open for all of us.
Yes.
Thank you.
And in developing, in actualizing this potential, we invite everyone to participate in this journey for and with our one home Earth.
And our beloved co-chair, friend, mentor, soul guide, Jean. And it would not be possible without the brightest, the most beautiful, beloved being called Olivia.
Who is ready to take a huge leap into the future. There she goes.